Some guy literally went, "Bear, kill yourself." Like,
Hey, is this the One Wish Willow? Yeah. What's up?
and I can't remember exactly like how the scene plays out, but I remember him just being like, "Nikki, did you cook the cat?"
All the way to the end, he does not make a single choice.
He actually, yeah, you're right. No, you're
Yeah.
technically right. He's kind of a scumbag to some aspects.
Hey guys, I got $1 billion.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Ticket Booth. Now showing Obsession, breakout movie of the year, especially in the horror genre. Very unlike and maybe a hot take to a lot of you guys, but we just went and saw Backrooms.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a movie!
you might want to pull it up just a little bit more.
What a movie, you could say.
It's great.
It's a movie.
It's amazing.
It's a movie.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. If you liked it, that's cool. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Maybe at the end we'll talk a little bit about it. But this movie that we're watching or talking about today is Obsession. 100% Obsession. Before we get started, got a long list of notes here. About 4 bullet points. I just want to get through something real quick. Trigger warning for, stuff like sexual abuse, suicide, murder, gore, domestic violence. This is what I could kind of think of what it could be. Domestic violence, I feel like is kind of iffy, but I feel like we could put it there just in case.
Touches on themes like that, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this movie. Very excited.
This one's really good. I'm just gonna, without really saying a lot.
I mean, again, if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest going to see it. I cannot recommend it enough. I am serious about my horror movies. I'm very picky when it comes to it. And I will say that Obsession is like top. It's tied with Sinners in terms of horror movie. And I've seen this year's been a banger year for horror movies.
So far, yeah. I can't say I'm the biggest horror guy.
Okay.
Recently, I've definitely tried to jump in more of it, but when it comes to like how uneasy and terrifying, this is up there.
This is
without a doubt.
And we'll get into it, but like there were parts of this movie where I was like, do I need to like walk outside and take a breath? Because like, oh my gosh. But yeah, we've had like, I know Sinners wasn't this year. It was last year.
Sinners
correct?
was last year. Yeah.
But still, like in the time frame of a year, 365 days, not just 2026, we've had some very killer movies. We've had Sinners, and it's not even just horror movies. We had Sinners. Mm-hmm. We went and saw Project Hail Mary. Great. Yeah. You know what I just realized I didn't do? I didn't introduce you, dude. God, it's been a minute. I haven't recorded anything in like months. I took a very long break. Gonna try to get back into the swing of things. But yes, thank you guys for watching right now. We're back here with starting off with a ticket booth. It's been even longer since I recorded a podcast episode versus a regular video. If you guys don't know me, I'm Blake. This is a podcast for movies where we just talk about movies. If you watch all the other videos on my channel, you notice that they're a little bit more family friendly. This is a little bit more unfiltered. So no bleeps on cussing. We're going to be talking about some more grittier, not safe for work stuff.
Anything that family friendly, Blake can just cut it out.
Shut up. That's a no. That's a joke. That's a joke because you guys know that we've had Cam on the podcast before, and he loves to do that thing where he's like, "Just look it up. Just we'll cut it out." I'm like, "No. I'll cut it out. You don't edit. I do." It's so hard to find that exact moment. I told him that. He said he's gonna make that joke. But anyways, this is Brandon.
What's up, everyone?
And you guys you might recognize him, not physically, but his voice. Virtually. He was in the Arc Raiders video. Yeah. I don't know if you were in anything else.
Just that.
I'm compiling a Battlefield video.
Oh, really?
So there are a couple clips that you're in. So in the future, I kind of just, with the gaming stuff, if something's funny while I'm gaming, I just hit record. At some point.
Occasionally.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in the Arc Raiders video. So like stuff like this clip right here.
I might die here. I don't think I'm making it up that. Okay. Reball. Oh, fuck!
And there you go. That's it. So, I'm gonna put that one in. I'm gonna cut and put it in.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm gonna put it in there. We're
gonna cut this part and then
we're gonna put, okay, awesome. But yeah, super excited. Sinners was amazing and
very good.
Typically, I melt into movies. So like for Sinners, I'll say I didn't catch a lot of the background stuff because I completely just melt into the movie and I feel like I'm there and I kind of forget where I'm at.
Like you kind of just blend into it almost.
Yeah, like I'll like during the movie I'll like blink and I'm like, oh shit, I'm in a movie theater. Yeah. So I feel like I miss a lot of the hidden stuff in the background, like stuff you wouldn't notice until like maybe a second watch where you're actually paying attention. Obsession, I felt like did really good with. They had all those hidden things and hidden meanings and metaphors and stuff like that, and I caught them.
Without like, I don't want to say Obsession is simplistic, but like, it's so like everything is just there, like what you're looking at. You don't need to like go crazy. I guess like it really is. Less is more with that movie. With Sinners, they build upon. I mean, their set design, everything on that is crazy. So I mean, you have so much detail on there. It's insane.
They definitely earn their Oscars
without a doubt. Yeah. Obsession is a little bit different. Like they clearly don't have the budget for it.
So it was,
but it works to its benefit.
It was somewhere around $1 million. Was their budget.
Which I mean, I don't know how that works completely when it comes to movies. Because I mean, that it goes to like actors and everything. So like, who really knows how much they're working with?
When you think about $1 million in terms of movie making, it's not a lot because you got to think of all the actors they have to pay. They have to pay for all the set pieces, all the crew, and there's a lot more than people think. There's a lot more people behind the cameras than you really think. On top of, probably got paid to like get it places and like get it out, and that's with $1 million budget.
It's insane what they were able to do, honestly. But like it was so terrifying. Like Sinners to me, it wasn't like a true horror movie. It felt like a blend of two genres.
Yes.
Like I wasn't like straight like it. In the beginning, it felt like a good world building period piece, and then halfway through that, it shifts aggressive, and when it goes down, it goes down.
And a great monster movie.
Oh, without a doubt.
With absolutely amazing lore that you just don't see, like the entire lore of Remick.
And the music is what uplifts everything.
Oh yeah, music for me, music is a huge part of a movie. You can't have. I feel like every good movie has a great soundtrack, which is a lot of the reason why things like Spielberg movies are so good.
It's like almost any good movie can have an average soundtrack, but any great movie has a soundtrack that elevates it.
Harry Potter, for example, Jurassic Park. You think of all these, and just those examples alone just kind of go to show.
For me, it's anything that Hans Zimmer touched.
Hans Zimmer,
literally
that's yours?
Anything he's touched.
Dude, with Sinners, Ludwig Göransson.
He's another one. Yeah, I can't. What's the other ones that he's just worked on recently? But he's been like getting nominations like crazy.
He was Mando.
Was it Mando?
He does Mando.
Okay.
He did Black Panther 2.
Black Panther. That's it. I know it's a lot of Ryan Coogler films that he's working on.
But I would say like his standout was for sure, Sinners, and even Project Hail Mary. Who did I can't remember who did the. Was it? I don't know. I can't remember. Project Hail Mary had some great music, and it wasn't anything like. I can't really.
They
think
used
of what
pop songs too. Like I know they had the Harry Styles.
And that's a good one. I'm just talking about like the score.
Yeah.
It was Daniel Pemberton. He's known for his unconventional textural approach to sci-fi scores. He did the Spider-Verse films.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
There we go. And yeah.
So he probably works a lot with like the Filmable brothers.
Yes, probably. Music definitely plays a part, and Sinners was great.
But Obsession doesn't have that. It doesn't have the music. It just has eerie.
It has sounds.
Yes.
It sounds.
It's sound effects is what elevates
that. And I feel like with Sinners, the thing that I walked out knowing that like what made me really love it was the music, was the songs, was the lyrics, and just the sound of it all. And the thing that I remember most about Obsession is it did the same thing. With Sinners, I walked out and I felt I don't even know it was a mixture of just feeling and inside, and it was a different feeling for Obsession, but I walked out with a just suspense like this.
Yeah. And
a lot of it came from the acting, but a lot of it came from just the sounds. Like you had the dream, like the type of dreamwave type, that womp thing, So what were we gonna say?
I would say like with Sinners, dude, the difference between the two of those movies, Sinners almost felt like a complete experience for me. Like from beginning to end, I felt like I got everything out of it.
Yes.
Obsession, I felt like it's one of those movies I had to just sit there at the end of the movie and just, what did I just have to watch?
It was, and it's not. That's
I
not a
wasn't
bad
able to
thing.
get up immediately. I wasn't able to just like, I had to sit there and understand like this hit.
You know what sucks? I had planned a watch party for the series finale of The Boys, and I completely underestimated the runtime of
Yeah.
Obsession, and we ended up being like, when the movie ended, we were 10 minutes late to the party that I set up,
That's still
and
kind
I
of
was
just-
like, Brandon, we gotta go, we gotta go, and he's like.
I'm sitting there like having to go. Like I needed to talk about this after what I had to just watch because I wanted to walk like a few times, just a second, just to get a breath and then go back to it. But I never got that second, so I was like, we're
Yeah.
gonna commit, we're gonna sit through this, and then immediately at the end of it, we gotta go now.
Yeah, and I was, and this is why I invited Brandon to do this, because Cam didn't go watch the movie with us, and typically, like, I try to keep things consistent. You know, I've had Caroline on the podcast for lighter movies. I've had Cam on the podcast for like Marvel and horror and stuff. But because I saw it with you, I didn't want to wait for Cam to go get it. And me and you, like, we got to talk about it a little bit, but because immediately after we had to go, you know, to the party where Cam and other people were at, where
Yeah, we didn't
They
really
haven't
get to
seen it.
truly sit
We
down
just-
and
so I
'cause
was
we
like-
didn't want to go into spoilers and
yeah,
stuff.
and that's why I'm like, now we got to go. Like I was charging my phone so we could record this, and we started talking about it. We
But-
just kind of slipped in. I was like, dude, we gotta start recording.
We had to get home. We had to get there. We had to watch the better thing, which was the Boys finale.
Shut up.
Which we did.
So on top of the music being very impressive, and by music I mean just more sounds, and on top of the budget
Mhm.
and just what it was for that budget being impressive, this movie, for those of you who might not know, was a first-time directorial. What's the word am I thinking of? Debut.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
he has apparently he has a YouTube movie. I don't know if it's a
Milk and
full out-
Cereal.
Yes.
Yes, and when I say directorial debut, I mean
It's
feature
actual
film.
in theaters.
Feature
Yeah,
film,
Feature
yes.
film.
Is Curry Barker and his partner, like friend, Cooper Tomlinson. You guys, if you don't know, might have seen them on TikTok. They do comedy skits. And, you know, they do like, there's that one that everybody knows. There's like, dude, come on. Everybody wants you to come. He's like, I don't want to go. Why you guys want me to come? It's like, you know, it's like, you know, play on words.
Yeah.
Super funny. Super. I love it. And like you were saying earlier, the skits that they do, sometimes they're just so mundane.
Yeah,
like you
it's
said.
mundane. It's more like the energy he brings almost.
Yes.
It's what makes it work.
Yes.
It's that
yes.
off the ball kind of like wackadoo character, but like
Mhm.
you don't know what he's going to do. It just
It's
it works for the skits.
You know what it's kind of like? It kind of reminds me of Kevin Malone from The Office, and in a very like kind of stupid kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
But it just works where he's like,
You know there's something there, and at
Mhm.
any moment something's gonna pop out, but then it is something stupid sometimes.
yeah, like, oh, I'm coming. It's like, why would you want me to come? And he's like, dude, everybody's coming. Even Uncle Tom's out there. It's like, why is he out there coming? You know? But yeah, so this is Curry's first time directing a feature film, and apparently he did so freaking well with this movie. He's doing another one also called Anything But Ghosts.
Apparently, are they already filming that? Like, I
They
know
are-
Aaron
they're
Paul
done.
has been cast. Oh, they're done.
They're done.
That's crazy.
Anything But Ghosts. It's about, from what I know, is two guys. I think it's Curry and Cooper, who
Mhm.
are ghost hunters. They are pretending to actually hunt ghosts. It's a scam. Aaron Paul and Bryce Dallas Howard, and I think
She's also in it.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I think they're a family.
Okay.
I think
Alright, the cast
I'm
is
connecting
wild.
my own dots here. I think they hire them to be ghost hunters, and they actually run into some real demon shit.
Yeah.
That's the premise.
Concept itself, it seems like a lot of fun.
And Curry's getting to act in this one.
From what, yeah, it seems
Mhm.
like him and his friend,
Yeah,
Cooper,
Mhm.
they both will be leading it, and it seems like it's going to be like a more of a horror comedy blend,
Yes.
which
yes.
I'm down for that because if you watch Obsession, it's not supposed to be, but they're all a
jeez.
lot of funny.
It's
moments.
hilarious.
They just let the scene play out, and it makes it
Mhm.
unnerving, but at the same time, uncomfortably funny.
Yeah, and then the actual comedic bits that are like meant to be funny, they're funny because they're realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that one scene where we've been talking about Curry's friend Cooper, who plays Ian in this movie. there's that scene where the main character Bear is talking with Ian at the trivia night, and you can hear the two girls talking, but they're just like,
Yeah.
because Bear wants to ask out Nikki, and he doesn't want him to. Which
The girls are having their conversation. They're going back and forth, just doing kind of facial expressions at them. And one of my favorite moments is it's very unnerving, but it's the cat. But yeah,
Which part?
we can dig into that. Well, it's after he gets home. If we get past everything else, but like he's sitting there and Nikki's taking a shower and he's getting to that uncomfortable part of telling him he wants to do the boys' night, and then he's sitting there like kind of banging on the door and stuff. And I can't remember exactly like, how the scene plays out, but I remember him just being like, "Nikki, did you cook the cat?"
Yeah.
And like,
You
it
can't
was just
do
so
that.
funny. And he's like breaking down because he we can get into like how he is, but like he's trying to control whatever it is that Nikki is now. And it doesn't work out for him, but it's just the way he's going about it is so hilariously wrong.
Yes. So, and one thing that I kind of want to shout out, and I know this is like, who am I to shout out these guys? No introduction, but Dead Meat. Dead Meat is what made me want to start podcasting. It's what made me one of the channels that made me want to start doing YouTube. So I've listened to every single episode of their podcast, and they did an interview with Curry. Really good. Highly recommend if you
definitely gotta check that out.
And he's so funny because they're like, so like whenever you did this, did you mean for it to resonate with this audience, or did you mean whenever this character said this, was the hit mean? And he's just like, no, no, it just happened.
One thing I feel like we do, like a lot of times, like looking back at movies, we over like think so much.
Yes.
When like in the decision, I guarantee you, they're just making moments. Like just do that real quick.
I think, and they, Dead Meat called it getting Kubrick, because a lot of people do that with Stanley Kubrick movies. And one question they asked was like, this film really resonated with the female audience for rightful reasons.
Yeah.
And they were like, was that intentional? Did you mean to have that resonate for a female audience? And he was just like, no, it just kind of happened. And I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, because I feel like that's like you said, a lot of movies we might just overthink, and this is just one of the times that he's just saying.
It's the concept he went with, touched on themes that helped out on so many other beliefs for other people and like what they go through every day too. So
yeah,
he did a good job without even really knowing it.
Yeah. Well, we've spent a good portion so far, 20 minutes. We've been hyping this movie up. So now with the way that we used to do it, we used to go from beginning to end, and I would just hit every point going there and kind of just retell the movie. And as you guys know, if you guys have listened to my other podcasts, episodes, most recent ones, we kind of don't do that anymore. We kind of do a loose structure where we kind of jump around a little bit, but we're going to keep that loose structure. Let's go to the beginning. Hey guys, it's me, and I'm editing this at midnight. Should be in bed, but that's what I'm doing. Just want to go ahead and say, yeah, I completely lied. I just completely misled you. Yeah, I said we're not going to be going in order. We went in order. This is a pretty long podcast episode. We went in order. It's just too good of a movie. So, yeah. There you go. We start off, he's in the diner, and we see a picture of, or not picture, but, a shot of Bear, our main character, short for Baron.
Yep.
Didn't realize
Was it actually?
It was Baron.
No.
I read his name tag on at the music store.
Really?
It's Baron.
I remember there was just quick little sideline. It's okay. Curry had an interview where they asked him like, "Why do you name him Bear?" And he was just like, "It's just like iconic names." Like
yes,
the same thing.
I saw that. Yes. Yeah. Where it's like you're more likely to hear the name Bear and walk out of the movie and remember his name versus if his name was Kevin.
Oh, Ian, Nikki. Like it makes sense. Bear sticks out a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Baron.
Baron. I mean, it makes sense because who the hell's name is Bear?
Baron Trump.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, we see a shot of him at a diner, and he's just pouring his heart out. He's basically telling Nikki that he loves her, and he's loved her for a long time, and you feel bad for him because you hear that they've been friends for a while. He loves her, but he's afraid that if he tells her, then she's gonna, reject him, and that's a fear that everybody.
And my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Go
they make it feel like he's doing it to Nikki. You don't see that as a waitress.
Yes, but he's pouring his heart out, and it's a fear that every guy who's ever had a crush on a girl and wants to ask out always has fear, like, what's the worst that could happen? rejection. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but like there is an added layer with him. They've been friends for a while, and he still doesn't want to lose her as a friend at this point.
You don't want to make it awkward.
Yes, and yeah, it's just he's pouring his heart out, and then we see what we originally think is Nikki. If you don't watch any of the trailers or anything, you think this is Nikki. It's not. It's a waitress.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, that's so cute." And Ian, who is sitting there at a booth,
Which is supposed to be his best friend.
yeah, yes, he's sitting at the bar across from the booth, and he's just like, "No, that's absolutely horrible. That's stupid. Don't do that." And the waitress, who's taking time, and a lot of things, I want to go ahead and say I'm not trying to steal any sort of content or steal any like words out of anybody's mouth, but a lot of what I'm gonna say is what like it's just kind of what Dead Meat did say. So if you've watched that, you might hear me say a lot of the same things, and it's not because I'm trying to steal what they're saying, but what they're saying is stuff that I've thought as well, and it's just true.
Yeah.
And one thing that they said was that they're immediately shutting down what this woman is saying. She's like, "No, this is a good idea. You should say that." And here's what and Ian's just like, "No, you can leave." They don't care. And one thing that I heard in that podcast is that Bear does not care about how Nikki feels. He cares about what he wants. That's his main thing.
I mean, if you watch the movie, that is almost the moral of the story. Like
Yeah.
you eventually get to.
Yeah.
I did have a question regarding that scene.
Okay.
So, we know obviously with Ian, you find something about Ian with the relationship with Nikki. He makes fun of Bear in that scene. Do you think if Bear would have done that, it would have maybe worked? Like if he just would have actually just did that straight up? Or do you think Ian making fun of Bear, he knows that wouldn't work on Nikki because he's close like that?
So here's where we jump ahead a little bit. There is a twist toward the end where Bear finds out through Sarah, who we'll talk about.
It's not the most important twist.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just something that's kind of thrown back there just to be
That-
like this relationship is kind of already like.
Yeah, it's a little but where we find out that Nikki and Ian have been hooking up for a while.
Yeah, very
So-
casually they say.
So I feel that I don't know if Ian is actually being truthful, because this very well could just be the type of guy that he is, and he actually believes that, because there's always that thing like, oh, if they're mean to you, they like you. Type thing.
Yeah.
That's something everybody's heard before. Or,
Especially when you're younger.
yeah.
For sure.
Or if Ian is saying, hey, do that, knowing that Nikki won't like it and knowing that might ruin Bear's chances of being with Nikki so that Ian can continue hooking up with her.
Well, because Ian also ended that diner conversation by saying, and like a little bit of a joke, why don't you just call her Freaky Nikki?
Yeah.
And he does do that
And
in the next scene later
It's
on.
terrible.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Like, he does that as
ruins
sheer
it.
panic, and she's like, what the fuck did you say to me?
Yeah, why would you say that? I don't like that.
Yeah, like Ian could maybe get away with it because Ian and Nikki have a relationship of maybe like he's a douchebag. I just kind of hook up with him.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like when you do watch the movie and we can dig into it with later other scenes, Nikki and Bear were almost seen more like a really good friendship, almost like
Yes.
a brother-sister vibe.
Yes. And I'll bring up the brother-sister vibe in a second, too.
Yeah.
But after we get this scene, Bear goes home and his cat is dead. That's important. Not super plot-wise, but it is important for things we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of just goes to show how careless Bear is, because Bear left out this bottle of pills and the cat ate it and overdosed and it died. I noticed on the bottle it says "do not open" or something like that. Don't leave open. You're the only one that lives in the house, Bear.
Yeah. Well, I did have a question about that because they do say that's his grandma's house, but obviously his grandma's not there. So
She's
I'm
dead.
assuming that the grandma's dead.
Yeah, she is.
So if that's the case, maybe it just happened and he doesn't touch those pills. Oh, I don't know, cause like I was like, why would he even go through those? I could see cats like they get on top of stuff, they knock things over all the time. I was always
But it was
confused by
in the
that.
medicine cabinet.
Yeah, it was fully
so
in the
he
medicine
had to
cabinet.
have left it out.
Yeah,
But-
I don't want to dig too much into it because I don't think like again sometimes we look too much into scenes. I feel like that shot, no matter what, it just established Bear isn't just irresponsible. He's not responsible.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah, I
irresponsible.
feel like that's all it was.
And one thing that I learned through Dead Meat and a bunch of other things that I've kind of done research on is that Bear does not like decisions. He cannot make a decision
Yeah,
for his
he
life,
could not.
which is why he didn't do a single thing to the house. Everything, including his own bedroom, is still decorated like a
makes
grandma.
sense. Actually, you know
Because
what? That's
he
so
cannot
smart.
do it.
Yeah.
And which is why he makes the
He
one
couldn't
wish
make a
pillow.
choice or anything. Everything was just he just kept everything.
All the way to the end. He does not make a single choice.
He actually, yeah, you're right. No, you are
Yeah.
technically right.
Yeah.
He does go back.
He makes a choice and then
But
immediately
he
just
goes
reverts
back
it.
and then yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, cat dies. And here's one thing. Oh my gosh, and this irked me. And I don't know. I don't know if I've heard anybody else bring this up in anything that I've seen. So people feel bad for Bear at first. And there is a scene later that we will get to that really, as soon as that scene hits, you're just like, oh, this is the bad guy. You want to know what really kind of like hinted to me that
What's
Bear's
your
the bad
moment?
guy?
What's your moment?
Well, the moment that actually switched me to be like, this is for sure the 100% the bad guy is the scene where she wakes up.
The bedroom?
Yeah. And
Like when he's going to go see Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah.
That's the scene.
That's my moment. Like,
But there is a scene earlier that I get that I'm like, okay, this might be the bad guy. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I might see where this is going. And that is the scene directly after the cat dies because he's sitting on the edge of the bed and he's sobbing. And you think, this dude really loved this cat. And right before it cuts, you hear Bear go, why can't she just, and then it cuts. What does that mean? There's no way you're talking about a cat. That dude was saying, why can't she just love me? That is what he's saying. There is no way you can convince me otherwise. Because what? Why can't she just live? I don't know, Bear. You just left out some fucking bills.
Bear is just very selfish in every way. And then, like, doesn't he... I don't want to get it confused, but when does he start scrolling on Instagram? Is it immediately after that?
It cuts from him saying, why can't she just, to him scrolling on Instagram.
And, like, he immediately just starts to get obsessed and, like, to pick all of his sorrows into just staring at Nikki.
Yes.
And it's, like, huge crush that he has.
So yeah, he immediately cuts to him. He's in bed, and he's
not even, like, dealing with his grief, and he's just putting it on somewhere else.
It's a trivia night, and Nikki calls, and she's like, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, no, that's sad. Why? And then she's just like, oh, I want to pursue other things. That's important.
I think I think the cat dies, he does that, and then Nikki calls, and then he looks at the photos.
I thought it cuts to him going to trivia night.
Well, she calls to tell him about the 2 weeks, and then they go to trivia after, because she's calling to ask about trivia.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's talking, she's saying she's going to put her in 2 weeks, because the 4, like, integral characters of this movie is Bear, Ian, Nikki, and another girl named Sarah, who we'll get to, and they all work at Sarah's dad's music store.
Cameo from Alan, Andy Richter.
Yeah, Andy Richter.
Very smallly in there.
She's saying like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "No, I've just got some stuff to do, homie. Just say your fucking cat died. Just say it. Like, why? Why are you afraid of looking weak or what?"
I don't know why you wouldn't just say it on the phone there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in general, like just say it. And it's not like he's afraid of being like looking weak, because he does a lot of things that are more feminine, like ordering a pina colada at the bar. Nikki makes fun of him for that, but he defends his choice. For once, he defends a choice that he makes.
That is true, actually. I didn't think of that.
So it's not even like he's afraid of looking weak, because for a lot of men in today's time, looking weak is looking more feminine to them.
It's almost like the big lifestyle choices he couldn't make.
Yes. And so I don't understand why he couldn't just say it. I guess he wanted to ask her out at trivia night, which at the diner, Ian told him, don't do that. That's trivia night. If you do and it doesn't go well.
And that's when they have that little funny bit of like the faces and stuff.
Yeah. He ends up going to trivia night. They're all sitting around, and Nikki and Sarah are talking and and stuff like that. And it kind of fades out, and you see Ian sees his face, and he's telling Ian to kind of just go. And Ian's like, no, stop it. And they're like both going this, and you think that they're gonna get away with it, but then Nikki's just like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah, which I enjoy that they call it out too.
Like, what are they doing?
It would be the most obvious
then
thing.
She's like, "Yeah, they're over here like." It's so funny. I love how this movie is so disturbing, but also freaking hilarious.
Yeah, well, they play into the strengths. It very works well.
Yes, very. But so Nikki goes to the bar, and Bear's like, "I'll go with you," and they go together, and he orders a pina colada. She makes fun of him, and you just see how like she's very charismatic. Nikki is a very independent, charismatic girl, very funny, and she's like trying to pay for everybody. He's like, "No, I got it." She's like, "Oh, okay, fine, I'll do." And then she hands him her card. And here's another thing I also mentioned on Dead Meat. I'm gonna quote them a lot. Is one thing, Bear is head over heels for this girl, but how much of him, I feel like in order to get head over heels, there's got to be a point where you think the feelings there might be reciprocated, because if they're 100% not reciprocated, it's kind of hard to fall that hard.
You would almost know, yeah. But it's the niceness factor. It's almost like the.
And here is why I think that Bear might be misunderstanding, because she calls the bartender babe.
Yeah, I could understand that. People do that though sometimes. I've known some people that do just sometimes. There's also southern things people just say like honey and stuff too. That you could pick up on.
And I feel like maybe that's been said to Bear before, and he just took it the wrong way.
From what we've gotten from Bear, it seems like he doesn't know how to deal with his feelings personally.
Yes.
So he would channel that, and it almost seemed like Nikki was there for him in maybe low periods of his life. And where Nikki took that as like they're really good friends, they were brother and sister almost, like we can do almost anything together.
Yeah.
Seemed like Bear took that as an unhealthy obsession of I really like Nikki, I want to be with Nikki, which leads to the movie, but he never actually just saw it the same way. He just wanted to see her strictly as to be with her.
Yeah, and because you brought that up, just really quick, obviously the movie is named Obsession, and in a face value, at least this, and again, Curry might be like, nah, bro. But to me, the name of the movie has two different meanings. Obviously, obsession means when he makes the wish for Nikki to fall in love with him more than any other person in the world, she becomes obsessed with him, does weird things because of how obsessed she is with him. But there's also an obsession that he has with her, and that's the double meaning to me.
Yeah.
He's doing everything he can to make sure that works.
Well, it's funny too, because like the more she gets obsessed with him, the more he loses his obsession.
Exactly. But anyways, so they get the drinks, and you get Nikki is very charismatic, being just a great person. She seems very fun to be around. Somebody I'd probably hang out with. And right as he's about to like say it, and he actually like makes a decision, which
crazy.
I know.
Life could have been different here.
Ian pops in, and he's obviously like there to make sure it doesn't happen. And again, we're led to believe it's because he doesn't want to ruin trivia night. Yeah. Knowing what we know that happens later, probably because
a little bit of a double meaning behind it.
Yeah, he doesn't want Bear to get it, because then he loses, that late night booty call.
Yeah. It seems.
Yeah. And so then we're gonna fast forward a little bit, but they all toast. And here's another thing: they're sitting at the table, and Ian and Nikki go somewhere else, and they toast, and he says, what are we toasting to? To Sandy. And everybody just kind of is just like, oh, okay, toast to Sandy.
Oh yeah, they're at the ball doing this, and that's when they all pop up.
and then Ian and Nikki leave, and Sarah's like, why are we toasting to Sandy? And he's like, she died.
Yeah.
And Sarah hugs him. Sarah has a crush on Bear.
You don't know, but like you can tell like Sarah's at least there for Bear, and Bear doesn't pick up on this.
Now, let me tell you something. I don't know if you noticed this. And again, this is something I learned through a bunch of research and stuff. But when Nikki later in the car after this, we'll get to this point too. Nikki talks about how she wants to be a writer, and he's kind of just like, oh, but you're good. Oh, but what do you write? Like, he doesn't really know all these things. He can't understand why she's wanting to quit, and he doesn't understand the full length of what it takes to be a writer. He doesn't seem to know a lot about what Nikki likes personally.
He's talking to her almost at a surface level without ever digging in.
Exactly. But later, whenever whenever the other cat scene happens inside of the music store, when he's talking to Sarah, when she gets that letter she's applying to a bunch of colleges, he goes, this is one of your last ones, right?
Yeah.
That implies that he knows.
Way more invested in
exactly to somebody that he doesn't have.
Even
a crush
in the call scene that we'll get to at some point, he is so much more invested into that moment with Sarah.
And yeah. So they go. So after they drink and stuff, they leave, and oh my gosh, I'm really struggling right now because Nikki is her character's name. Her real name is Indy, And I watched her in
Oh,
Superman
yeah.
and Lois, and her name is Sarah, so I'm like
Was she
struggling.
in Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, she's like a big character in Superman and Lois, and her name's Sarah. So like I keep going wanting to be like Sarah Indy. No, Nikki needs a ride home, and Bear's like, "Oh, I'll take you." And Ian makes a joke. It's like, "All right, Bear, get your girl home."
There
And she
was-
goes, "Ew."
Yeah, there was that moment, and then right before that, I can't tell this is just them showing Nikki's nice or something.
The homeless guy.
Yes.
Yes, shows that she cares. Like she.
So
is,
like Ian and Bear are talking about
Mhm.
this, like taking her home and stuff, and then you see in the background Nikki run up to a homeless guy
oh,
and
they
give him
focus
money.
on it, and they
Yeah.
get the music swells, and it feels like we're about to watch a teen summer movie.
Yeah.
Like a rom com,
It
and
feels
it makes
nice.
you feel great.
Yeah, I can't tell they're just trying to show like to add on to Nikki, like she's just a nice overall good person.
And
She's
then
just there
he
for
takes it
people.
away from her.
Yeah.
That's like it really drives that home. Speaking of driving home, Bear drives Nikki home.
Yep, yep.
And that's when they get to talking about how Nikki wants to be a writer, and
Which I
she's-
like this moment. I like
Mhm.
the car scene ride and everything.
although it is surface level
Yes,
on
yeah.
his side.
On Bear's side.
Mhm.
Nikki doesn't think of it this way.
And she says after this, she says, "Oh, you know, Sarah has a crush on you. How does that make you feel?" And he's like, "She's a friend. Now, how does it make you? Do you like her? Like stuff like that."
Mhm.
And she basically, they end up saying, like, Nikki says, "Oh, Sarah makes it really obvious. If I had a crush on somebody, nobody would ever know until it's time."
Which, yeah, I wonder if that was a double meaning for the Ian thing.
Maybe.
Because no one did, yeah. No one would have known she was with Ian.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So she gets out, and he says. Also, I might have mentioned, I forgot, go complete like a huge plot point. Beforehand,
before.
when they're on the phone, and she's begging him to come to trivia night, she drops a crystal necklace,
Mhm.
and he goes to the crystal store, like the
To go get good
like the
vibes
New
and
Age
crystals
store.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, to get her another one, and that's where he finds the One Wish Willow.
Which, again, if we want to talk about how Bear is not really there for the person, he doesn't buy the necklace or anything. He just buys a random One Wish Willow for
To-
himself.
No, he buys it for
Well,
her.
technically for her, yes.
He just never gives it to her.
But it's still, yeah.
He backs out of giving it. He backs out of that decision to give it to her. On top of to show that and this is another thing I've learned on Dead Meat. He picks up that one thing and it's like, would somebody like this? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's like sunshine and a rock. He's like, she would hate this. She has the tiger's eye. She likes crystals.
Mhm.
Even though she's possessed entity Nikki later when she gives him the tiger's eye crystal,
It's still a part of
it
that,
still
yeah.
shows that she likes crystals. So she would have liked something like that.
I mean, it's just been anything, just to
Yeah.
show that you would
Yeah.
have cared.
Yeah, she dropped it. It doesn't. If I drop something and down the drain that I really liked, it doesn't matter what you get me. Even if I don't like it, yeah, I probably won't wear it.
It shows
or-
that you just listened and you were there.
Yeah,
for them.
yeah, you
Like, no matter
tried. It's the
what, yeah.
thought that counts.
But he still couldn't make that choice. He found some random gimmick
One Wish
thing,
Willow,
and he
that
still was
doesn't
like,
think it's
I
real. He gets her something that it's like it's kind of like a blanket thing to me. Whenever he gets the One Wish Willow, he gets it because it can grant any one wish. You can only do it once, but it's anything you can think of, you can have it. And it's and to him, it's a gimmick thing. He thinks it's a scam.
Yeah.
He even says it to the cashier, like, "Oh, is it a scam? Is that why people don't like it? And that why people complain?" And to me, it's because it's a cheap little thing, and he wants to give it to her. And in my eyes, it's because it's non-committal. It is not this is a crystal because you lost it and I want to replace something that you really like. This is just hey, I got this for you. Very non-committal. You can do whatever you want with it. It's just a little blanket thing for him. But she gets out of the car, and he's got the One Wish Willow in his bag. He was going to give it to her, but he backs out of it. And as she's walking away, he goes, "Bye, freaky Nikki," because he backs out of like
Well,
saying
they're like going back and forth. Like he keeps like he wants to say
he
like
likes her.
yeah, but like he can't do it, and like she's trying to walk back to her house and get inside, and she can tell he's trying to say something, but she's not doing it.
So he calls her freaky Nikki. She comes back. She's like, "Why would you say it? You know I don't like that."
Yeah.
And then she gets really blunt. And I have a question for you after I say this. She gets really blunt, and she's like, "Do you like me? Just say it. Now's the time to say it. Say it." Do you think that she has a crush on Bear?
Okay, so this is my personal take. Seeing how the movie plays out, we obviously know these relationships now past. I think no matter what, Nikki, because she's with, obviously, spoilers, fuck that. with Ian.
But it's casual. It's not
It's
a relationship.
exactly. So I think because Ian, you learn, is kind of a scumbag to some aspects.
Hey guys, I got $1 billion.
Yeah. He's not really the greatest guy. I mean, he's
No.
obviously a friend, but he's not really there for Bear truly.
Mhm.
And so I could see Nikki not wanting to be with Ian because casually, so she doesn't want to be with the douchebag and give the nice guy a try.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing it, but I just didn't see that relationship would work. And I could see eventually, when you're young, you get that obsession. You finally get with the late girl.
Obsession.
Exactly. You finally get with the girl.
Yeah.
And then he probably learns like, oh, it wasn't everything I thought it would be.
Mhm.
They break up like a normal couple would.
Yeah.
And then he would eventually learn like, hey, this entire time, the girl
that you didn't like,
on the joke
Sarah.
that you learned in the movie on your left, that was Sarah,
Mhm.
was there the entire time that you should have been with.
Yeah.
I feel like they would have been together, but it would have ended, and then he would.
But do you think that in this moment right here, where she says, "Do you like me?" Now's the time to say it.
I do think she would have given him a chance.
So you think she likes him?
I think there is something there.
I do. I believe she does, and I think that just goes into show. You would never know. He doesn't know that she likes him, and it can go either way.
There's
'cause
little
like I
meaning.
said-
She's extremely nice to everyone. She's like, no matter what, she just sees the better in everyone. It's like, and they also that things you would never know if I liked anyone or not. Seems like no matter what, she's willing to give anyone a chance. She seemed the better of anyone.
And that's and that's I completely agree with you. I think that maybe she does like him in this moment, but I don't like it. Like you said, I don't think that.
I don't think it would have worked.
No, not at all.
Because they're way too different.
No, yeah, and
especially because if Bear is the way he is, Nicky would have been like, okay, man, can you at least pour your fucking Sprite or cola? Which one do you want? Just pick something. Like,
so she says, like, do you like me? Now's the time to say it. And I think that was saying, you got to say it now. This is now or never. Because if you don't right now, then
the moment's gone.
I think she knows for 100% that he likes her.
Absolutely.
And she's basically saying, if I'm going to do this, because maybe we don't know the inner workings of her relationship with Ian and whether or not that is like a thing. Is it casual because they just both want it to be casual, or is it casual because Ian's non-committal toward her?
Yeah.
And maybe this is one of those things where she's saying, I need you to say this, that you like me right now. Make the commitment because I am not doing it again. I'm already doing it with Ian. I'm not going to do it with you.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's saying that, and he doesn't. He's just like, I like
just
you
can't
as a
make the
friend.
choice, yeah.
And she walks away, and he gets upset, and he's just like, he pulls out the one wish below. And here's where I'll defend Bear a little bit. People harp on like disliking him and hating on him for making the wish. And while everything that happens is his fault, and he does turn out to be a pretty shitty person, this moment I don't blame him because he does not know that the one wish below is real.
Yeah, at this point, there's literally nothing wrong other than the fact that you just look at Bear like, okay, man, your cat just died and you're doing all this. You're a little extra right now, but like that's all I'm looking at this.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If I'm in Bear's position, if I'm Bear and I have a one wish below that can grant me any wish, as a gimmick, if I just went through something, I could totally see myself doing that. People do stuff like that.
Yeah.
People
The double 11s.
Yeah, you make a wish. It's not meant to be like a real thing. It's just kind of like an aspiration. So I view him doing that. He breaks it. He's like, I wish Nikki Freeman would love me more than anyone else in the world.
Obsessed.
He doesn't say that.
Oh, he doesn't?
He doesn't. He just says, I wish she would love me more than anyone in the world.
Okay.
And
I know, like, the way you word it somewhat matters with the way they build it.
And he looks, and there she is. And now she's acting a little weird. And she comes back.
Well, not even. Like, she's inside. And, like,
she went inside?
Yeah, she's inside.
Oh, I
she's
thought she
fully
stopped.
No, I think
Maybe
she's
might be
either
right.
fully inside or she just randomly stops and then turns around. I'm almost positive she goes inside, and then that's when he's talking to himself and doing the whole thing. And then she opens the door again and then comes back out.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, she comes back, and now she's, like, acting like, oh, I like you, Bear, yada.
It's almost, yeah, it does, like, and they will establish this in the next scene later, it does seem like she is just on drugs.
Yes.
Because she's just dancing, she's lackadaisy.
Yeah.
She's not, like, where she will be later on, fully.
This is the point where we start to slowly go into the, oh my God, I need to breathe, because you start to see her, like, she's like, oh, I like you, Bear, and then you start to realize, not Bear, but we start to realize this is the One Wish Willow, because she's saying stuff like, she's like, oh, do you want to come inside?
Yeah.
My cat just died. You should come in. No, I'm sorry. Your cat just died.
She starts to like get things confused
and
up a
one
little
thing
bit.
that I realized upon all these research and even during the movie is that the entity, what I'll call the entity for not Nikki,
Yeah.
is it's trying its best to make sure that it is perfect for Bear. And what it does is it takes what he is feeling and feels it itself to relate. So in that moment, my cat just died. It's taking what it feels. It's taking Bear's inner emotions. I'm sorry, your cat just died. Because Nikki's cat didn't die. Bear's did. But she's trying to relate that grief. Come inside, And then she starts to realize, this is the part, excuse me. She starts to, we start to get that one thing where one of the scariest moments throughout the whole movie is the moments where we get a peek at real Nikki coming out.
Yeah. Well, like they don't even show that till a little bit later on, because like up until this point, you can tell it's the One Wish Willow. We know it's the One Wish Willow, but in the movie they don't know that. But like, there's a moment later on in a few scenes, and I can't remember exactly where they all like on the bed.
But I feel like this is also one of those moments. And here's what I'm thinking. So when she's like leaning at the car and she's like, oh, do you want to come inside? Oh, you should come inside. Maybe I should come to your house. Like, she goes, what the fuck? I'm acting so weird right now.
That's right.
I think the reason why she's not as afraid is because I feel that in this moment,
it was so early on.
She doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And she's like, maybe she does like.
Well, because it seems like, and we find this out later on, she is awake consciously in the back. So it's almost like she's blocked off.
Yeah.
So in that moment, she probably has no control over it. Wakes up like, that was really weird. And then later on, when it has been days, weeks, she has been trapped. That's when she does start just become screaming, like, get me out of this.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, she's like, what the fuck? I'm acting so weird. I might be drunk. Oh, you should come in and get back in.
Yeah.
And then she tries to get him out. Like she goes over and like tries to like open his and get him out. And he's like laughing. He's like, what is wrong? You're not almost acting weirded like out yourself. By it. Yeah. And then she goes, oh. And then she gets in the car, and here's the thing. This is another thing I learned. She leans down and she's just like, my dad is sick. And you can hear her crying, but you don't see her move. She's my dad is dying. Like, you don't know. And that's something you don't really pick up on at first. But spoiler alert, her dad's not dying. And this
at least
is
that
just,
great ball scene.
Yeah, this is just her trying to get him to a point of being together.
Yeah.
They end up going back to Bear's house. She has to sleep in the same bed as him because she doesn't want to be alone. Yada yada. This is the scene you're talking about. She takes off her shirt. He's looking at her. She's just in a bra, and he's, Bear's probably thinking this is the best day of my life.
And then she's starting to get a little bit more progressively on top of him.
Yeah, he's like, this is a girl I've loved for so long, And then they start kissing, and oh my god,
this is when it jumped for me,
dude. I was
because I was almost like invested into it. Like it was almost not to like say like it was okay with it or anything, because all this is fucked up no matter what. But like you don't know what's happening.
I feel like the movie purposely made it to where it feels like there's a haze over your eyes, and you're kind of seeing it through Bear's point of view, because we also at that point in the movie we didn't know how far gone real Nikki was, because we don't know how this wish is going to work. We don't know if it's a progressive thing or if the moment that he snapped it, she is like entity. So yeah, they're kissing, and then she goes, "What the fuck?" And then it just whoosh with the music.
It's like the sound effects and everything, her waking up and everything. It went from like almost like a teen not teen comedy, but like a teen romance of young love to straight up, what the fuck is happening? Everything's like
the music or the sound effects are just loud as hell. She starts screaming, and then he starts screaming. He's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
He's terrified
because in his position, it looks like he doesn't.
He's almost the audience at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that this is the One Wish Willow. This isn't really Nikki, and he thinks, "Oh my gosh, did I just sexually harass somebody? Did I just take advantage?" Which, even if so, kinda.
I mean, later on in the movie, he gets
without
progressively more.
Without the One Wish Willow, kinda, because she just told you if this was not Entity Nikki, she just told you that she's grieving. She just had a bunch of drinks. She openly admitted in the car beforehand that she thinks that she's had a few too many drinks.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, again, was just Entity harping on what he said. Because before she said, "I think I'm a little drunk," he said, "I think you're drunk."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
we get that, and she goes to sleep, and he like goes and he looks on AI, and he's like, "What is the one wish will it? Nah, it's not that." And then he calls Ian, and
He does
Ian's-
like very basic research, but he just basically like, yeah, it couldn't have been that.
Ian had mentioned that she was on drugs and stuff like that, so he looks that up. I don't even know if that was this part of the movie, but they end up going to
It's around that part, yeah.
Yeah.
They basically hawk this up, and this is where I want to rewatch the movie because this is a little bit where like the movie blends in a little bit into certain points,
Mhm.
but they just kind of loose it up to like LSD or something like Molly.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
she just gets really
MDMA.
excited, yeah.
But I think it's around this time. Bear's asleep in the bed, and we see him wake up, and he looks over, and she's not there. And then you hear, "Go back to sleep." Ooh, skin crawling.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm just thinking about it. So he looks around, and you can't see her. You're just seeing like his room.
Well, we do have the scenes before where he does go to work with Nikki, and then they talk to Ian, and then
But I
Nikki
thought
just.
that this happened beforehand.
This is right after. This is after. This is when Nikki's like almost living with him at this point.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, sorry, I skipped ahead. So yeah, no, he goes to work,
Because this is their first day they were together. Then after that, they go to work together.
and then she comes back with the red dress. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. Let's. All right. I skipped ahead a little bit. Yeah, they go to work.
And this is when Ian wants to catch up because he's like, "Dude, you've been at Nikki all night.
What's
this
going on?
about?"
What's
Yeah.
going on? Is this actual like he's intrigued and like attaboy, or is this so what'd you do?
Yeah, he's
What have you done that I
It
haven't?
seemed like he was almost hyped a little bit, but he was also like concerned, like because he didn't hear anything.
Fair enough, yeah. So, but then again, also that doesn't make sense for me. How does he know at this point? Because for all he knows, he just dropped Nikki off at home. How does he know that she went back?
They could have been texting. Well, like they do off the screen, like because Nikki does text Sarah, either possessed or not. She does text him off screen because she knows about the party Sarah's going to. Because possessed Nikki is like Sarah's going. I texted her.
Okay.
So I think no matter what they do off screen texting, so you kind of just have to like assume. I'm
Okay.
guessing.
Okay, I can. Yeah. So yeah, this is another scene. So there, he's talking to Ian, and he's basically describing everything, and he's just like, "Oh, I think something's wrong."
Mhm.
Like, and not like a she's possessed, but like, no, I think she, something's mental breakdown. Her dad's dying, and Ian's like, "Well, she was."
That's when Ian does the research and does the LSD
later.
stuff. Yeah.
But he's like, maybe she used to have a problem with drugs and stuff. And when you get a shot of Bear in the background, all blurry, you can see Nikki. She's standing at the cash register. So if it's like right here, and if Bear's over there, she's
Yeah. And I think it's like Sarah's trying to talk to Nikki, and Nikki's just absolutely
just
locked.
And that's again showing the obsession part of that. So yeah, then they go back. Bear goes home, and then he gets a knock at the door, and I think maybe
Nikki pops back up
I
again.
think
Yeah.
this is when he's on the computer and he's looking up like, what is it? Is
I
it?
think he's on the phone with Ian, and they're talking about it,
Yeah, and
and
he's
then
like,
she
"Is
shows
this-
up again.
Is this? He types in like, what is the one wish willow? Is that word? No. Okay. Is it? What is MDMA? What's the side effects of that? What's the side effects of Molly? Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Very basic. And then knock at the door. Nikki's there, and then she confesses. "Oh, I like you, Bear. Is that gonna scare you? Do you want this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want this."
Yeah.
And then they what happens afterwards?
They do some stuff. I don't remember exactly, but
Was this the montage?
I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember if the date happens and then the montage, or the montage and then the date. Oh, date montage, date.
At what point do we get the
That's after the date.
date? Okay, so
The
so
date happens early on. I
so
just can't remember exactly
so
when.
she comes home. She comes to his house, red dress, all look.
We're going to
dressed
skip
up.
a little bit because we're not exactly
Yeah.
completely sure. But at one point, they kind of get a little bit more together, and then they go to the date.
But she comes and she says, "Hey, I was on MDMA," which again is
Yes.
manifested through what Bear is thinking himself, or at least
It's
trying
also,
to
how would
excuse.
she know that? Because she was never in those conversations or
Exactly.
anything.
It's because the entity is feeding off of Bear's inner feelings and thoughts. So she's using that because she knows the entity, if that's what she says, Bear's just going to take it and we'll leave it.
Yeah.
So is this right after that? Is that whenever we get the scary in the corner?
I believe after the date, because she only goes progressively weirder from that. So it goes from the date to the
So
corner, and then
this
from
to
the
the
corner
date.
to the party.
Okay. So after this, well, do they go on the date directly after she confesses her? Oh, no.
Because that's when they start being a couple, and there was a montage in
So
there.
so it's her saying she likes him. The montage, the date.
And
Okay.
because the date is when like he starts seeing some things, and I think the montage is like montage is him finally accepting like I'm finally with Nikki.
I've
Hell
got it. I've got it. You're right. So yeah, she comes to his house, says, "Hey, I like you, MDMA, all that stuff." And then there's a montage of them doing couple things.
Yeah,
They're
and
together.
It is cute, but
Yeah,
you
it's
see
like
like in the background like their friends are starting to hate this a little bit because they're legitimately all over each other.
just out of nowhere too.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And in the background, apparently, Nikki had told Sarah, who likes Bear. Now, take this with a grain of salt because we don't know if Sarah is a trusted narrator.
Yeah,
I would like to think so, but we also don't know.
from what we've gotten, she seemed trustworthy, but
Yeah.
we also don't know.
Yeah. So basically, she basically says, or they go through the montage. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Yeah, Sarah had said later in the movie that Nikki had talked to her and said that she only sees Bear as a brother. Take that with a grain of salt because Sarah likes Bear. We don't know.
They talk about that at work, and that's the cat thing.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So we get a montage, and like Brandon said, it's very cute. It looks like a little teen romance.
There
movie.
is another fucked up part in that montage, though. Where, when you think about this, he kind of knows what. I don't know if he fully knows about the One Wish Willow, but he kind of almost knows that's not truly Nikki, and he's fucking Nikki in the montage.
That's no. That's after.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. So basically,
that was also one of those moments too. Where it's like, okay,
That's-
there's no.
So we get the montage, and you get a little like signs of where Bear likes this montage version of Nikki because she's normal.
Mhm.
But then progressively through the montage, she starts to be a little less normal. We get a shot of them watching a movie. Oh, it's cute. We get a couple more shots, and then we get back to the shot of them watching a movie, and she goes, and then he's like that.
Yeah, little signs of her showing just too much.
Yeah. And then we end off the montage, I believe, and now they're at a restaurant. They talk, they're having a great conversation, and she's like, "Oh, what do you want to, I want to be a writer. What do you want to do?" And he's like, "Oh, I want to be a food critic."
Yeah.
And they make a little, again, this is like a great conversation. "Oh, well, what do you think about this bread?" "Oh, I think this, da da da."
Mm-hmm. The thing with the montage, though, is that in the montage, you see Bear starting to see some stuff, and that leads to the diner where he wants to ask that one question.
No. Because then in the middle of it, he gets up because he gets a call from Ian.
That's
Ian
right.
keeps calling
Yep.
him. So then after like the second or third call, he's like, "Oh, I got to get this." And you can see Nikki gets a little like, But then Bear walks around the corner, takes a call, and as he's talking to Ian, you can see Nikki kind of walk out and just look. And then she goes and sits back down. But Ian is saying, "Hey, I just did a bunch of research." Again, for what reasons he did it? Is it because he actually cares about Bear in this relationship, or if it's selfish reasons?
It seemed like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Definitely seemed like a little bit
He
of both.
does research. Nikki's dad is not sick. He even called the hospital that Nikki said that her dad was in.
Mm.
He's not even there.
And there's
He's-
even like Sarah will say later on, she really has no relationship with the
yeah,
dad.
no, and I think Ian says it in this too. He's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, she doesn't even like her dad." So Bears like goes back to the table and he's like, they're kind of talking. He basically says like, "Nikki, does your dad actually have cancer?" And then
And this is one of those scenes too, where it just
yeah, and she goes, "No." And she stands up, and he's just like, okay, we're good. She's like, "We're having a good time. Why would you do this? We're having a good time." He's like, we're having a great time. Sit down."
I loved it that everyone around them, like in the diner, just looked for a 2nd
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, and then she went right back
Yeah.
to eating.
So she sits down, and she's like, why does it matter? If we're having a great time and we love each other, why does that even matter? And he's like,
Yeah.
"You're right. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It
Yeah.
doesn't." Bam, bam, bam. That's
Yep,
the sex scene.
That
That's
makes
the-
sense. Yep, it leads right up to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while he's having sex with her, he's on top. He's not even looking at her. She's looking like toward the camera.
It's
And-
almost like she's in autopilot mode when that's happening too, which is
yeah, and she's making all the noises of like having a good time, but her face is just blank.
it's
and
completely blank.
apparently there's a tear. apparently.
Makes sense. I
Nick-
mean, it
little
makes sense
Nicky's
because like
slipping out.
if she is, and you learn consciously there, so she's like prison. She's trapped.
Yeah, this is where the trigger warning of sexual abuse and rape and all that stuff, that it kind of is. Kind of. So after that, then Bear, I think, goes to work, and Nikki's not there.
This
and,
is now when her 2 weeks are in, and now she's not at work anymore.
Oh, yeah, wait. He wakes, I forgot, earlier that morning. Or no, earlier in one of the morning. I think it was after the first day of them being together. They wake up, and he walks into the kitchen, and there's a shrine on the kitchen floor with his dead cat.
Oh, that's one of the first. Yeah, that was early on. That was one of the
And
first
here's the
signs
thing,
of her craziness.
There's like a little memorial on the fridge for his grandma. So Entity Nikki, saw that and is like, he loved his grandma. He made a memorial. He loved his cat. I make a memorial. Dead cat in the middle of a bunch of flowers and candles and stuff. So yeah, that's the first thing.
That was on the first night they were over.
Yeah,
too.
very first night.
And he just brushed that over.
That's the one
like,
when they're
that's just
kissing,
normal.
and she goes, "What the fuck?" Like that's
Yeah.
it. That's important. So he goes to work, and he leaves Nikki at home, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, did you cut my hair?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Don't do that. Just be normal." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "All right, I gotta work." She's like, "Oh, I wish I would have, been scheduled." Which, by the way, I don't think she ever put in her 2 weeks. She said she was going to. I don't think she ever did. He took that away from her.
She still. There's a funny thing I want to ask you at the end of all this.
Okay. So he's like, "Oh, okay, I gotta go work." He turns around, and you see his face see it before we do, but his entire door is just duct taped.
Oh yeah.
Crazily, and he struggles to get open. You can hear her in the background going, "Oh, well, if you just can't get out, maybe you can just stay here with me." He's like, "No, I got it.
And what I loved about like the movie too is like there wasn't like a lot of crazy moments, but like it's literally just so simple of just a whole bunch of duct tape over the door, and it was just terrifying.
Yeah.
Just because of like the act of her doing this kind of stuff, and then just being trapped there, and then seeing him keep peeling it, and she's just sitting there, was just like,
Mind you, this night, okay, I skipped over again. That night, the night before, that's whenever
I think it's
this is the corner.
I think
They had
if
sex.
I play this right, it's the sex thing with the date, then they do the sex, then the next day he goes to work when this is when they do the tape. She stands still, goes to work, does.
Well, you skip the corner, so they have the sex scene.
I'm trying to remember where the corner is.
They fall asleep after they have sex, and then
Is it
he
that
wakes
night?
up in the middle of the night.
Okay.
She's in the corner. She's like, "I just like watching you sleep," and then he's something happened. He says something, and it's just quiet, but then you kind of see her in a dark corner. By the way, she has makeup on. It looks like this, and it's terrifying. But you can't see it.
So well
you can't
for the
even
movie.
see it until I saw the pictures. Like, oh wow! But then all of a sudden she goes, "Why don't you love me?" Like it's so scary. And then
it's the sound effects in the background too with that. It adds so much.
And she like runs around, and it's like terrifying. And then finally he's like, I thought it was funny. He's like, "Why don't you come to bed?" No. Like,
well, she does like this, and you've probably seen like the TikToks and stuff, but like the backwards walk into the corner to go back into
Did
it.
she do it there too?
Yeah, she does like the. Oh wait, no, you're right. It was that one moment in the hall. At the very end. Okay, never mind, I was wrong. But I remember she goes back into the hallway. Oh, not the hallway.
She
but
does like
in the
kind of
corner.
step out a little bit into the light, and then he's like, "Why don't you come out of bed?" No,
And
goes
goes
back
right
into
back.
the corner. But then she comes out, and then they go to sleep. And then he wakes up. "Hey, did you cut my hair? Also, don't do what you did last night. That's weird. Be normal."
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So he's like, "Just stay here until I come back from work." And then we see he leaves, and she's standing there, and she's just. He asks her. He's like, "Also, just be happy. Like, just don't be weird. Just be happy." She's like, "Oh, like this."
And that's when she does this.
And she holds that the entire time he's gone at work. She stands in that position like this. She pisses herself. She throws up.
It's
on
almost
herself.
like everything's finally being relieved, and then she's just in complete airplane mode until he comes back.
So he goes to work. She made him a lunch, by the way. And he's at work. It's just him and Sarah, and they're kind of talking. And this is where Sarah starts to say, "Hey, by the way, I have something to tell you about Ian." Oh wait, no. First she's like, "Oh, this is
You just start seeing no connection more. You just start seeing like how
Yeah.
they do have more of a relationship.
And she's starting to mention she's like, you guys didn't seem like you were into each other at all until
then-
now, and now it's
yeah.
kind of weird. Like it's kind of weirding us all out. Also, I have something to tell you about Ian. Speaking of Ian, he has a party. Uh, oh, hold on. And then her dad comes with the letter. Here's
Mhm.
another one. And this is where we see Bear seems to care a little bit more about Sarah because, oh, is this like one of your last ones? And she's like, yeah. She opens it. She gets rejected. She has one college left. This is the one she really wants to go to. I
Yep.
forget what it's called. But if I heard it, I would know it.
But
Luther?
Luther, I think.
Yeah. So he's eating this. He's talking to her. He's eating the sandwich that she made him, and Sarah sees these Polaroids.
Yep. There's 2 of them.
And there's one of her or one of Bear, like security.
Bear
cam
just
footage.
says me, I believe.
It says you.
Oh, you.
Yeah, and it's security cam footage of him at work. And there's another one of her taking a selfie with the flash on at night where Bear's asleep and she's like smiling next to him, and it says not me.
Yep.
What's your interpretation of that?
Interpreting is that, which this is weird, but like when you think about it, it makes sense because of the cat too. That's obviously Nikki's subconscious finally breaking out and having some
Not
say.
me. Yeah.
Same with like, because I'm wondering like, why would she cook the cat?
Yo, that was a reveal we got to get to. So he's eating, and also there's a little letter, and Sarah starts reading it as he's just chowing down on this sandwich, and she's like, Sarah reads it, and she's like, oh, it says something.
Oh, what's
something.
the verdict? It says.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what does that mean? My little food critic. What's the verdict on cat? And that's the same thing she said about what's the verdict on the bread.
Mhm.
So then he looks and he realizes the sandwich he is eating is cat. Which also, again, I'm harping on what Dead Meat said. They pointed out a thing I didn't even think of. He said he wants to be a food critic. Easiest thing. Very non-committal because all you do is get food and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Because any person that wants to be an actual food critic would realize that is not deli meat.
I mean, shit, you just open up that thing. You open up that.
He doesn't care. He just likes the events of being in a relationship, not the actual relationship itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, then he throws up, and then he comes back home. Or
Like he's forcing himself to gag and all that, which shows that he knows how to do this for later on.
He throws up, and then Ian comes in. He's like, "Oh, is he okay?" And then it cuts to them leaving work, and Ian's like, "Hey, I need a ride. Can I get one with you? My check engine light's on."
Yeah.
They start driving, and then Ian kind of opens up, like, "Hey, dude, this is really freaking weird."
He's basically like, Bear, it seems like you're kind of taking advantage of her and all this stuff, and like this is when it seems like Ian kind of does, and he's right about what he's saying. Like he almost does care for Nikki in this moment.
But at the same time, though,
It's
apparently
selfishly.
she had a Molly, like she was addicted to Molly at some point. So is that implying that Ian also was taking advantage of her? Because how long has this fling been going on? Not to defend Bear, because absolutely you are right. Ian is right. He is taking advantage.
Ian
of
in
her.
this moment is right with what he's saying.
Yes, but
we don't know.
the
We don't know
intentions.
the back. Like we don't know obviously if he was with the freaking Nikki and stuff. I'm just taking it for the face value of right at this moment.
Okay, yeah. So then he's like, Bear is like confronts him. He's like, "Oh, I heard you had a party. You weren't going to invite me." He's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to invite you because it's just weird. You and Nikki are just weird."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? That's weird. Why would you say that?" He's like, "You know what? Fine. You want to be invited to the party? Don't bring Nikki. Just stay away. If it is a healthy, good relationship where there's no codependence whatsoever, and she can survive without you for one night, just a boys' night." And he's like, "Okay, fine. I'll come." He gets back home, and
First thing he sees, piss and shit, immediate.
and
right in the
throw
corner.
up, and she looks like hell.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's just like, okay, let's go take a shower.
yeah, she's like, "Oh, I look so terrible." He's like, "I'll go take a shower." So she goes in the shower, and then he's like, "Hey, oh, no,
There
no,
was
no, no.
something there.
I skipped something. Before
I know
he goes
there's something
inside,
there.
no, before he goes inside, this is the call, the customer service.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right.
So, but when he gets home, before he goes inside, he grabs his bag. He's actually practicing how to tell Nikki, "Hey, don't cook. Hey, that is not good that you cook the cat. We don't do that." And then he grabs his bag, and when you open the One Wish Willow box, a jingle plays. So when he moves his bag, I think it jostles the box around and it plays the jingle. He pulls it out, and this is the moment that he starts to put the pieces together. Maybe this is the One Wish Willow. Maybe. So he calls the number on the back. for those of you who don't know, the customer service rep who answers, that's Curry Barker. That is the director of the movie. And it's oh my god, it's so funny.
The way he talks to you, it makes it, because like it's not supposed to be funny, obviously, but they just add so much because it's so tension based.
It is so funny.
This scene itself feels like one of those skit comedies that they would do.
Yeah, and so he calls customer service, and he goes, "Hello." He's like, "Hey, is this the One Wish Willow?" Yeah. What's up? He's like, "Oh, I would like to," and here's again, Bear starts to realize this is the One Wish Willow. Mm-hmm. This is where one of those moments where like, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. He's like, I would like to alter my wish.
It's like a choice between cancel or continue, and he's like, I want to alter.
Yeah, he's like, you want to cancel your wish? No, I just want to alter it. Yeah, we don't really do that. Do you want to make a cancellation request? He's like, but does she actually love me? Like, does Nikki actually love me?
The part that like changes the scene from like really funny to like kind of like, oh wow, to straight up terrifying was when he then answers that with, do you want to hear her?
No. He answers when he says, does she have one? He's like, just because you chose this for her doesn't make it any less real.
Yeah.
And then he's like, sounds like you have a moral obligation to be there for her. Well, then I'd like to make a cancellation request. We don't really do that.
He's like, but you made it seem like you could.
Yeah, and it's funny. And then he's like, yeah, that's when he says you have a moral obligation to be there for her. The only way out of this is if you die, because then the wish is gone, and that sets something up. So then he's like, do you want to talk to Nikki?
That part.
Do you want to talk to her? And it's just her screaming.
It just sounds like straight hell.
It sounds like, oh my god,
legitimate hell.
Yeah, and it's just her screaming. And another freaky part onto it is it's not just her screaming throughout the whole entire screaming, like without even taking a beat. Do you want to talk to her? Do you want to talk to Nikki? Would you like to talk to her? Would you like? And it's just.
And then he just hangs up.
And then he goes inside, and that's whenever you see her with piss and vomit and all that. She goes to take a shower. And then this is the part that you were talking about earlier. He's knocking on the door and he's like, hey, did you cook the cat?
Yeah. Well, like, because he's I feel like there's something wrong with the house. Like, there's something crazy that's happening. Because I remember him just being so concerned and worried and terrified. And he sees the piss and shit. He sees how she's all fucked up and everything. And he's taking a shower and he's all worried. And he just has, like, this sheer panic on him. Yeah, and he wants to talk about the boys and everything. And it's just like...
Did you cook the cat?
Nikki, did you cook the cat? It's just so funny the way he says it.
Yeah, and she's not really responding. And then he goes, okay.
It's funny because it's almost the surface level he would give to her.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, Ian's having a party, and oh, cool, we should go. He's like, yeah, well, it's a
boys' night.
It's kind of a boys' now.
Yep.
The water shuts off.
The sound effects too. It just gets quiet immediate. Yeah.
And she's like, that's funny because Sarah texted me and said that she's going to be there, so it's not really a boys' night. But it's fine, I'll just stay. And then he's like, no, we can go. You know what? We can go. No, if you wanted me to be there, you would have asked me. It's like, oh, it's so scary.
Terrifying. And then they eventually jump to that party, and then Sarah comes, and she's in, not Sarah, Nikki's in the red dress and everything.
Yeah. Then
they play the Jenga game.
They play the Truth or Dare Jenga. And you know, you pull out one, you do the truth, or you drink, or you do the dare, you drink, and Nikki pulls it out and she recites this very gross poem about Hansel and Gretel.
Do you know apparently like in depth what that poem is about?
Not in depth.
The Hansel and Gretel is basically a poem, like what she is reciting about people looking into it, about that's how she looks at Bear, because Hansel and Gretel is about them being brothers and sisters, but almost forcibly fucking each other.
Yes,
I can't fully get into it. I don't know it fully, so I don't want to like get everything wrong. But she's almost reverting that, and that it seems like that's how she looked at Bear, and now she's being forced to be in this relationship with Bear.
And that's
it's a very uncomfortable and a long poem.
That's actually her audition scene too.
Was it?
The audition for Nikki, that's the scene that she had to read, and what she did was she was in the audition room and she recited it. It was her idea to make the witchy voice. It was like, you know, And throughout the entire audition, she stared at Cooper to make him as uncomfortable as
I
possible.
mean, that's how it's done right there.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a monologue to have to
Yeah.
say on it.
But it's basically just like Hansel and Gretel. It's like Gretel's gonna kill Hansel and flay him and use that flesh to
very
do things to
uncomfortable.
herself. And it is portraying.
It goes on for way too long.
And she does like witch voices, and it's really creepy. And it does, like you say, portray like what it might be like for Nikki to love Bear in this way, because she doesn't view him like that, especially not now.
Yeah.
If she did before, she definitely doesn't now. So then she's like, okay, I don't have to drink. And it's like implied that was something that, was in her phone. She says it's the book she's been writing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Insty, probably. Because I don't know if Nikki would have wrote something
Well,
like that.
things too, like the incident is like everyone looks at her like she's so crazy, and she's like, "I'm just joking," and then everyone's still looking at her like it's crazy, and then she gets back up like, "And what if I'm not?"
Well, that's later.
Deal with it.
That's later.
Okay.
So she sits down, and then another guy, or no, before that, right before Nikki, a guy had pulled one, and it said switch places with somebody, and he's like, I want to switch places with Bear so I could be next to Nikki, like as a joke. So now Bear is sitting next to Sarah. She's on his left. And Bear, after Nikki does hers, Bear pulls one, and it says, kiss the person on your left.
And that would be Sarah.
And yeah, so Nikki stands up, and if you've probably seen, if you've been on TikTok and seen anything about obsession, you go in the comments and you see the little stickers. You definitely seen the one where she's like, that's what she stands up and she does that. And then she walks around, and a lot of people thought that Sarah was going to die here, because you get a shot of Sarah, like Bear and Sarah, and behind Sarah, you see Nikki, but it's like only like from here down.
It's only the body you see.
I fully expected her to be like that, but she doesn't. She grabs Sarah's chair and drags her back, and then stands beside Bear, kneels, and goes like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bear kisses her and yada yada. And then she stands up, and then she goes, and you're all gonna die without knowing what the love feels like the love that I have for Bear. And if you guys and everybody's looking at her crazy.
She's absolutely nuts.
And then she goes, I'm just kidding. And she sits down, everybody's still looking at her like you said, and then she goes, you know what? No, I'm not. And who cares? And then, what the fuck? And then she goes crazy. Real Nikki comes back.
Yeah, and then she grabs a bottle.
Yeah, she's screaming, this is not me, this isn't me, this isn't me. And then she smashes a bottle, and this is real Nikki, because later we find out, skipping ahead a little bit, later we find out that real Nikki wants to kill herself because she does not want to be trapped inside of this body anymore. So she smashes the bottle and goes, and this, you probably see me. I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That. I was like,
it was like 2 or 3 where they just sit it on, you just see her go straight up with the bottle in the head.
Oh, God, and like blood's pointing, and everybody's freaking out. And Ian's like, what the fuck? And then afterwards, he's like, you gotta get her to a hospital.
This is when like I start questioning some things too, because they take her to the hospital, and then she's obviously, they show the scene of her going to the hospital, and she's doing weird Nikki things where she's doing ballerina outside of the hall, and then she's like, please help him, and they're like, no, we can't do anything with her. They go back to the house, obviously. But like, it seems like not a single person checked up on Nikki after that incident, after the party. They just talked to Bear.
That's true.
Like, they just were like, fuck it, she's just obsessed with Nikki or with Bear. We don't care about her.
And that's another thing, but the thing is, like, that also shows how bad of a person Bear is, because now he knows, he has a very good suspicion that everything that
he knows is the one wish at this point.
Yeah, at least,
like
at least
knows.
if it's not 100%, it's at least 80.
Well, he knows after that phone call.
Yeah, I guess.
He had to.
I'm just saying, benefit of the doubt, I agree. But benefit of the doubt, at least 80% knows. Because, again, he might think...
If he doesn't, he's about to with what happens that night.
This is...
Because this is when they go to sleep that night, and this is when Sarah wants to talk to him after the party.
Okay, but before that, so they're talking, and he's just like... He says, do you... Like, you can't keep doing this. You have to... And she starts crying, and he's like, do you even like me? No, like, is Nikki happy? And she's like... I am happy. He's like, no. Does Nikki actually like me? And then this is like, and the entity starts like sobbing, crying. And this is, I don't know if you caught this. The entity's like, I can't be her. I can't be Nikki. I just can't do it. And he's like, I just want you to be Nikki. Don't be weird. Don't be like Nikki. Don't pretend to be Nikki. Just be Nikki. He says, just pretend to be Nikki.
He's pleading with it, just didn't want it to act like
He
Nikki.
doesn't care that it actually is Nikki. He just wants this thing that loves him no matter what to just
Yeah, he
pretend
likes
to
it
be.
to a certain point too. That's what makes it so fucked up. Like
He likes
doesn't
the
want it to
attention.
go away.
He doesn't like the weirdness. He doesn't care if it actually is the Nikki that he once knew. He just wants this thing that loves him to pretend to be
And
Nikki.
on that phone call, he does find out if he kills himself, it will go away.
Yeah, so he knows.
Yeah, so he knows like he can end it all if he wanted to.
I'm very glad, and Dead Meat brought this up too. I'm very glad this didn't go down the route of like a Final Destination or a Countdown,
Mhm.
where they're like, "Oh, if we stop your heart and then resuscitate you."
I'm glad they didn't flatline it. So
Yeah. So she's freaking out, and then she like kind of like gets really aggressive, and like she's like, "Do you love me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love you." And you get the loud sounds like that, and she
Yeah.
walks back all slow motion, and then she's like, he's like, "What? You're freaking me out! Stop it!" He's like, "I think we just need to take some space. I think we just need to. You should just go home, or maybe I could go sleep at." I think he says Ian's. Maybe I can go to Ian's, and she's like, "Okay, you can do that." And she's got a knife too, by the way.
Yeah, well, she says what she's about to say, and then she walks out with that big old butcher knife.
Yeah, she has the
Yeah.
knife in her hand. She's like, "Okay, well," and then she mentions like, "Well, okay, you
I was
can
like
go do
slit
that."
my wrist and all
And
that
then
kind of stuff.
I can talks about like in a very metaphorical way, like saying, "Oh, my wrist will be cut and I'll be bleeding. My hands will go numb until
Just
eventually
as much detail as she can go into.
Yeah, until eventually I fade to black. Not even black, because black is a color. Actually, nothing, because when you die, it's nothing." Basically insinuating if he does that, she's gonna kill herself.
Mhm.
And then she goes, "Or you could stay."
And then of course Bear does what Bear does best. He just does
Stays.
nothing and stays.
So then he goes to bed, and first off, it irked me, but his ringtone was still on, and Sarah's texting him, "Turn it off, dude, please."
Well, like what irks me so much is like up until this point, like I can at least like find Bears doing these choices. Like the One Wish Willow, you didn't mean to do this. Yes, I would have made some different choices here. Like once I knew like this person's trapped, it's a little bit different. But fine, you continued on here. Why would you stay in this bed with everything you know now?
Yeah, that's a terrifying concept.
Continuing to text someone who you know is fully crazy on the other side right next to you, and you like this person.
Yeah.
You're just going to continue this?
And before we bring up what's about to happen next, and I'm not, this is again, not defending Bear. I'm just defending what I feel like a lot of people might not grasp. The right thing for Bear to do, unfortunate, but the right thing for Bear to do, kill himself.
Yeah, that's
It's the
literally.
right thing.
No. If you really want to be technical, and he's not smart enough to do this, because we learn a little bit later on, you go get the One Wish Willow and you make someone else make a wish. And help
Okay,
you out.
yeah.
You cancel it out if you want to
But-
be technical. But if you want the real easy option, the moment you hear that phone call, you kill yourself.
Yeah, but I can understand, and again, this is not defending his actions, because obviously after what we're about to tell you, he is a very shitty person.
Yeah.
I can understand how that's like a tough pill to
That
swallow.
would be a hard night to have to understand that. But with what the decision he's about to make on this very night,
is bad.
exactly. He should have killed himself.
So he's talking to Sarah's texting him, and you can see they've been texting for a little bit. And he's basically, I think one of the texts said like, "I'll tell you about it later." And she texts him. She's like, "I need to talk. I'm at the park." He's like, "I can't." She's like, "Okay, then I'm coming over." And I guess he's afraid of what entity Nikki is going to do.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So he's like, "Okay, fine.
I'll meet you at that place."
So he gets up and he starts trying to sneak out, and then you hear Bear, and everybody, I could tell in the theater tenses, because
this scene itself is truly like haunting.
and you think it's the entity, and he turns around, and he's like, "Oh, I was just gonna go get some water," and she's like, "It's not, it's her. She's asleep.
Yeah, she
And-
literally just says she's asleep. Kill me.
It's me." And this is real Nikki coming out and talking to Bear.
And Nikki's completely just laying down, completely still.
Yeah.
It's purely
And
just
she's like, "Don't talk loud, don't wake her, just kill me." And he's like, and this is the part, this line right here is when everybody learns Bear is a
you
horrible
can
person.
hear it in the theater too. Some
Yeah.
people are just like, you can't be fucking.
He turns to her after hearing that this is not her, that she wants him to kill her to end it. He goes, "What's so wrong about being with me?" And she's like, "We've never been together, Bear.
Yeah, that's
Just
when
kill me."
literally the most upsetting line too. She does literally say, "We've never actually been together, Bear," and that's when I think he just walks away.
And he just walks away. And as he's walking away, she keeps going, "Kill me," and you could hear her start crying.
She's like starting to crying and stuff. And this.
So he goes to Sarah.
You know what's funny too is I guarantee you, if he didn't walk away, I guarantee you, her crying like that too is what woke Nikki up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So he goes to Sarah. They're sitting in the car, and they're talking. And again, we don't really know how much Bear knows about Nikki. It seems very surface level, like we said, but it also seems like he knows a little bit more about Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "Oh, you still do this? You still come out here?" Showing that he knows. And so then they start talking. They're jiving a little bit.
Yeah, you see their banter. You see how much they really do get along.
Yeah. And then she shows she goes, "This is the last one I have." Oh no, she says, what did she say? Oh, she shows the letter
Mm-hmm.
of the Luther College, and she's like, "This is it." And then I think they mention about something about the game. She starts talking about oh my gosh, I'm skipping ahead. She starts talking about how she wishes Bear found somebody who doesn't love him, like who doesn't love him surface level, and actually like loves him.
This is finally almost Sarah finally having her feelings come out. Like this is what Bear should in the beginning, but now Sarah's doing it to Bear.
Yeah, Sarah's like, "I just wish you would find somebody who actually knows you and who actually loves you for who you are and not just obsessed with you."
Mm-hmm.
And she mentions like, "Oh, the girl, sometimes it's the girl on your left."
That's when my absolute favorite moment, because like you can almost tell this is about to happen.
Yeah.
And then the moment she says "on my left," on her left,
yeah,
it's when just Nikki just comes absolutely out of nowhere.
You see Nikki coming, sprinting toward the driver's side window. She smashes through the window, puts a brick up against the
She goes head first into the window and then does the brick thing,
and then puts the brick up against the steering wheel, grabs the back of Sarah's head, boom, 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 boom. And Bear's not even screaming. Bear's just like.
To be fair, and what
shocking.
did you do? Yeah,
it's shocking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
This is the only thing where I'm like, also like, yeah, no, there's nothing you can do here.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm not saying he should have done anything, but I'm just saying he's not even screaming. Like that's how shocking this is. And then she comes around. We get a horrible, gross shot.
This scene goes on for way too long.
Of Sarah's face. Now it's just completely gone.
I swear it's like 20 slams.
Oh God! And then Nikki comes around and opens the door, and she's hugging him like, "No, Bear, no, it's okay, it's okay. We got rid of her. You wish for this. You wish this.
That's what I love too.
Fault.
This is all your fault. Now help me get rid of the body.
This is all your fault, but now we can be together. It's okay, just like you wanted. You wished for this. Now we got to get rid of the body, and we can be together forever." So then they go back to the music.
Well, she takes care of the body, and he's able to go and leave.
Well, they go back to the music store first. That's important.
Well, he does have his own moment in the car.
That's after the music store.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So earlier in the movie, I forget when, but earlier in the movie they mentioned that Sarah's dad kept a gun in the store.
Yep.
And when they're taking care of the body in the music store, Bear's just kind of sitting there catatonic, and Nikki is taking care of the body. You can kind of hear her messing with the safe.
Okay.
That's when she gets the gun.
That makes sense.
We don't know she's got the gun yet. And then she comes out, she's like, "Body's taken care of." And I forget what happens, but he ends up leaving. And she says, I think she tells him to go home. She's going to finish up taking care of the body.
Yeah.
So then he drives to like a secluded spot, and he still has the blood-stained letter from Luther College that Sarah was about to open. And he opens it, and she got accepted. Yeah. So not only did he take away Nikki's free will, he took away Sarah's future in life in general.
Yeah, just everything.
Yeah. So he screams, and he goes back, and this is a funny moment too. He goes back to the New Age, like the crystal store where he got the One Wish Below. It's a different cashier, guy full of blood, and the dude's like, "Dude, you can't bring this energy in here."
Yeah. Well, like he's almost like ignoring him. Like the girl was fully into it, like going with him. He didn't believe it at all. Now he's coming in fully believing everything, and the guy's just fucking with him. Like, dude, what are you? Like,
yeah, because he can't find the One Wish Below. They're not there anymore. Yeah. And he's like, "What are you talking about, One Wish Below?" And he's like, "Dude, they're right there."
Just all this bad energy, man. You gotta stop it.
Yeah,
dude.
you can't keep bringing this bad energy
right
in
there.
there. I'm just fucking with you too. They're right here. We put them by the. He's like, he's like, oh, how do I? He's like, you can't make more than one wish, man. But
I have so many more questions when it comes to like the actual world building of that because it seemed like he had a good wish.
yeah,
He liked it.
it's okay here because I feel like I know what your questions are. It's a question a lot of people have. I'm going to answer it for you right now. The one wish willow is not a monkey paw situation.
I get that.
It is not. A lot
Well,
of people
that
think
means you
it
get
is.
a good and a bad wish.
You don't. I
But
mean,
you have
it's
one wish.
it's just it happens.
But
It's
that means
not-
everyone would know about this. No, at a certain point.
that's where you got. Yeah, that's another thing that people think. It's a thing where you've really got to suspend disbelief.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand that. I can get that.
Yeah, because
You
like
could dig into all
this
that,
thing
though,
is
but
like a retail. Obviously, if it
it's
was
a $6 toy.
this thing actually
Oh, gimme.
works, it would eventually get like worldwide news. But he basically says, then I think is it the cashier that brings up the idea.
Did you notice with the jingle too, with the one wish thing? The first time you open it, it plays you a certain jingle. Every other time Bear opens it, it's a different jingle.
I
Up
never noticed
until Nikki opens it, it's the same jingle.
that. Never noticed that.
So like as long as it's your first time, it will be the exact same jingle. But if it's your like a second time or third time or something, it will always be a different jingle.
Wow, I actually
That's
didn't
what
notice that.
Kerry Barker said.
Wow. So yeah, I don't remember if it was the cashier that actually brings up that he could get somebody else to do it
Mm-hmm.
and wish the wish never happened. And I think Bear's like, well, can you do it? He's like, oh, I already used my wish.
Yeah.
You know, and apparently it worked well for him. So it's not a monkey paw situation because I've heard a lot of people say later on Ian wishes for $1 billion and it falls out of the sky. And people are like, oh, well, probably it would just kill him. It would probably just fall on top of him. Or maybe whenever Ian dies, spoiler alert, whenever Ian dies, that was his monkey paw situation. It's like, it's not a monkey paw.
It's not. Yeah,
It's
he
not.
just straight up got it. It just what happened after was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just coincidence. So, Ian buys like a couple One Wish Willows and leaves the store, and he goes to Ian and he starts talking to Ian. He's like breaking down. He's like, dude, I can't tell you everything.
like,
He's like,
what-
what's going on, dude? What's going on? And he's like, listen, this, and he starts explaining the One Wish Willow, and like any normal person is like, dude, that's completely fake.
Dude, I love this scene because it feels like almost 5 to 10 minutes of him just bargaining with him. Like, dude,
Yeah.
it is real.
He's
I'm
like,
doing
it is
everything.
real. I swear, Nikki doesn't act like blah, 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 and this is what's going on. And he's like, listen, all I need you to do is I need you to just open it. I need you to wish that I never made this wish, and then you could just have Nikki. You could just be with her. And I
think it was that moment Ian switched because he was with him. Up
he was
until
going
then.
to, and then the moment that he goes,
He's like, oh, that's what this is all about.
really? Okay, fine. And then it starts to seem like Bear seems to calm him down a little bit, and Ian opens it up and takes it out. And by the way, Bear actually did try to do it twice, but he couldn't. It
It
literally
wouldn't break. Yeah.
So Ian takes it out, and Bear sees it. He's like, okay. Now, let's reenact this. You're Ian, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, please, what you got to do is say, I wish that my friend...
I want $1
Bear-"
billion.
Oh, that scene.
And then Bear just drops to his knees, and
Yeah.
then like the music with all the
Good old
rain
scream.
of the money. Oh my god!
Yeah, Bear lets out this good old scream. He falls down to his knees, and he just looks up at Ian with just disdain.
And then Ian is just like befuddled, like he's just watching the money drop.
And then it cuts, and Bear goes back home, and when he walks inside, he sees Sarah's body sitting in a chair, like just naked, just like this.
Completely mangled. And did you notice? I didn't know this until after. The reason why Sarah's body is like that and it's at the house is because Nikki was using it to put all the same tattoos
Yep.
on her
Mhm.
body.
I noticed that too.
And
was wearing her
crazy.
dress and everything. She
Mhm.
was wearing her dress, everything aside from the leather jacket.
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. So so he goes inside, he sees that, and everything's like all weird, and he's like looking at it, and you get a shot of him, and you can see like in the window, like light is coming through the window. You see her do this like weird silhouette thing as she walks past.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, there's another scene. There's never like a jump scare payoff, but it's earlier. I can't remember when it was. But I want to think it was after the shadow scare, like
Like the corner stuff.
yeah. I want to say it was the morning after when he walks into the kitchen, or maybe it is during the scene where he's walking through the house and you just see her like scurrying. I think it happens
I
multiple
think
times.
it is, yeah.
But then she comes out, she's got the gun, and she's like, "You need to do you love me now?" And she looks like Sarah, like she's got tattoos sharpied on her.
It's
wearing her
completely
clothes.
messed up, but she's
She's-
still,
She's
blood everywhere.
bloody and everything, and she's like going crazy. She vomits on him and stuff,
Mhm.
and she tackles him. Or before she comes out, he pulls out. He goes, "You'll do anything for me, right?" And pulls out the one wish willow. He's gonna try to make her wish.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I can't remember exactly how this scene, but this scene is just getting tenser and tenser by the second. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse for him. It feels like,
Mm-hmm.
and then is it before when Ian comes in and then he goes to the bathroom?
So he
Because I
asked.
remember he's on the couch when Nikki's on top of him, and then Ian's like sitting there banging on the
So
door.
yeah. He asked Nikki, "You'll do anything for me, right?" And that's whenever you see her do like the weird like walk across the silhouette
Hmm.
window. And then he doesn't take it out of the packaging. He just takes the one wish willow box with the willow inside of it. He takes it out, and then she comes out and she's like screaming at him like, "Oh, do you love me now?" And she pins him on the couch. She throws up on him,
Oh yeah,
and then Bear's like, "Yes, I love you. Yes, I love you."
And then
she's
this
like,
is now when Ian's banging on the shit, adding
and she's
more
like,
tension.
I'll kill myself, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I got $1 billion, dude.
That's another. I didn't understand that.
Yeah. And it didn't make much sense because he did also say Nikki's crazy, don't come to my house, right when he went over to Ian's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it just because it does add that extra tension. It does make it so much more suspenseful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense
It
to
doesn't
him
make
to
sense.
go over to that house.
Why would he go? Like Bear was there
Mhm.
whenever the $1 billion dropped.
He knows about
Why-
the $1 billion. No reason to go over there, and he was just told Nikki's crazy. Why go
A
over
lot
there?
of Dead Meat and a lot of other people said like they think that maybe he like counted it and realized it was real money, and then he's like got excited.
Oh, like
And
he
then he
just
came
sees it.
over.
He doesn't believe it. He
Like
actually
he
sits there and
believes it
counts
came out, but he thinks that monkey paw situation. Maybe it's not real money, but now he's like, oh crap. But he goes over and he's like happy about it though. He's like, oh, dude, I got $1
he's
billion.
fucking thrilled. He's banging on that door like, dude, let's figure out what to do.
Meanwhile, she's screaming at Bear with the gun up. I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
And then Ian opens the door, and just this is what happened. You guys are Ian. He's like, I got $1 billion. I'll kill myself. Opens the door, bam,
Yeah.
just like that.
Nikki turns to John Wick and colds fucking Ian.
Perfect between the eyes. That's insane. He drops.
Yep. So then Ian just immediately dies. You have one body there. You have Sarah in the corner, and now you have just Bear on the chair with throw up all over him, and Nikki just going crazy.
And he calms her down, and he's like this, and then he's like, I love you. And you see him like slowly kind of take the gun away from her, and then he's like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And then he goes to the bathroom, and here's where we get more indecisive Bear. He goes to the mirror, and he holds the gun up like this. And then he's like,
I'm see, like, even with this though, like, I can understand because like shooting yourself, that seems like that's difficult. It's like what he does after, maybe I could go with that, but also he still
don't
doesn't
know.
commit to that.
I feel like, yeah, okay. I feel like I would take the first option. I feel like that's quicker.
It depends because if you do it wrong, you're still alive. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't want to do this. I want to
Yeah.
make it very clear.
Yeah.
But so he doesn't. He backs out of shooting himself.
he just
and
sitting there
she
staring at
keeps
himself.
banging on the door. She's like, Bear, come out.
She
come
knows,
out."
yeah, the instantly knows what
Yeah.
is happening.
And he goes and he takes the pills that his cat Sandy overdosed on, and he shoves a bunch in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see he's starting to kind of feel it a little bit, and then he's starting to. And then he grabs a trash can and shoves his fingers down his throat, and everybody's just like, "Oh my god, this
Yeah.
dude's gonna back out of it!" And then you hear the
Well, like he does back out of it, but the jingle
yeah.
thing happens.
You hear the jingle of the one wish willow as his fingers are down his throat. He's about to throw up, and then you hear the, and then he goes, and then walks out. The entity wished for Bear to love her as much as she loves him.
Mm-hmm. So then you have like this moment of Bear literally about to kill himself. You have this music so tense and everything. Then you hear the jingle, and then it turns almost back into like a
rom-com.
Oh yeah, yep. And they look into each other with like such love in their eyes.
But because she did that, he never backed out
Mm-hmm.
of throwing it up. So he overdoses in her arms, and she's crying. And Bear, why would you do what?
You just see Bear sitting with all the foam at the mouth. She's
And the
losing it.
moment that he finally is just gone, she's like,
Was not even that, like, you see the Nikki slowly turn, like, have the gun go more and more towards her mouth.
yeah, you're right. I forgot.
Until you see the turn.
Entity Nikki goes to be like this, and then with the gun, and then she goes,
And then actually Nikki pops up and then just throws the gun off.
yeah.
It sees
she's
everything.
looking down. She sees Ian's body, sees Bear's body.
Throws Bear's ass on the floor like he deserves.
Yeah, exactly. And then the camera like pans upside down to the TV and you get the credits rolling. And as the credits are rolling, you just hear her. Oh my god, it is so
And
heartbreaking.
then you just had to leave Nikki like that.
And she's, what
Yeah.
did you do?
Just losing it. Because now she's finally freed, but not really.
At what cost?
Yeah, not really.
And it was not her choice. And, you know, the original ending was that Nikki does.
I
kill
almost
herself.
kind of want her to, because I don't know if it's better for her
I
to
just think
live
that's
that.
too. I mean, yeah, you're right. It probably is.
It's a more darker ending, her living, in a way. Like, it's not because, yes, she's alive, but she gets
I'm
to
gonna say
be in a
not.
room where she had to be trapped consciously for 3 weeks, raped by her brother, technically, how she looked at her. And now she gets to wake up and see her 3 closest people all dead in a room with her.
Traumatically, yeah, probably a better ending for her to just.
Yeah.
But
She's alive.
people look at it as like, oh, she's going to jail, and we're apparently in Anything But Ghosts, Curry's next movie, we're gonna get it's in the same
Is
universe.
it really in the same universe?
Because apparently he said that you're gonna hear like a news broadcast about a triple homicide and like a girl or something like
That
that.
might just be something really smart. Is he actually going to give us like an actual?
It's not gonna be like a sequel or anything. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be something you hear in the background.
Would it be some conclusive that we learn about Nikki's?
Maybe,
fate?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it just?
But
something-
here's my thing, like, and this goes back to the maybe suspend disbelief on the One Wish Willow thing. But if she does like stay alive and the cops come after her, could she not just show that the One Wish Willow is real? Just take them to the store, show the One Wish Willow is real with somebody who hasn't made a wish, have them make a wish that's not crazy.
See, but then that opens the whole can of worms. So then now, if the world didn't know, now they have to know.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a thing. But that's the end of the movie. That's it. That's how the movie ends. And we kind of did that like the old style. I just realized where we just
tried
went
to
through
go
the whole
through it,
movie.
yeah.
But this movie's so good though. You can't really.
It works itself so well, scene by scene. It builds, and everything they do with Nikki, with just the way they use darkness, you never really get to see her face, and it works so well. And then when you do see her face, they have that makeup on her.
Yes.
So you can't make out really what it is.
And it's amazing. Indy Navarrete played that so well. Like, great actress, because you have to play 2 different versions of that same character.
Question: do you think she could get an Oscar for it?
If it wasn't a horror movie, I'd say yes. But Sinners did open up, I feel like Sinners made some headway for horror to finally start getting recognized at the Oscars.
I think she would definitely deserve it. I think her name should be up there.
I feel like they got to give something. Give them their flowers, because this movie...
She deserves something.
So impressive. I'm like, just this whole movie in general, like we said, $1 million budget, first time feature film debut.
I think almost every one of these that worked on this project in some way was their first time. In some ways. Well, like, they've had other projects, but like their main lead stuff.
You know something? You want to know something that I didn't realize? My favorite show. First off, Indy was in, like I said, Superman.
Yeah.
She's also in 13 Reasons Why. Did you ever watch that show?
Was she?
Yeah. She was Monty's sister.
Like the later seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah. But one of my favorite shows of all time, if not my favorite show of all time, is Teen Wolf. I had no freaking clue that Bear played a character in Teen Wolf.
Is he actually in Teen Wolf?
He's in Teen Wolf. His name's Corey. He's he can.
How young was he in Teen Wolf?
I'll just show you after this, dude.
I was about to say he has to be like 12.
Yeah, no, he's like teenager probably. I'll just show you.
Okay. He's our age now.
He is?
I think so. Because the girl's our age.
She is?
Yeah, she is. Well, at
I
least...
thought she was like 27.
No, she was born in 2001 from what I saw.
Oh.
I think Bear might be like 27-ish. They were all like roughly all ages. I know Curry Balker. He's only like...
How old's Andy Richter?
Oh, so this leads to the question at the end. With everything happening, who's opening up that store?
And he's like,
where's Andy Richter just walking in?
Where's my employees?
Where's
and my gun?
every one of my employees?
And my gun. Most importantly, my gun. Because I think it's so funny whenever she gets that one college letter before the cat sandwich, and she opens it and it's rejection. He's like, oh, well, get back to work. But
him being in it was so random. I love it.
Yeah, and you never really even see his face.
Literally 3 scenes.
You don't even
like,
see his face. You could just tell by his voice.
Yeah.
But Yep, that was Obsession. Highly, highly, highly recommend that you go see it in theaters. I don't think it would hit as much on home TV unless you have like a surround sound. Cause
Surround sound would definitely help in all blackness. If honestly, if you liked Hereditary, it almost gives the same vibe.
oh yes, Hereditary still has like one of my most scary scenes.
Just the way it makes you feel uneasy. Each scene kind of leads to the next, and you just don't really know what's going to happen. It just works.
It really is just from the moment that he breaks the one wish willow to the very end of the movie, you are like the entire time.
And the best part is not really there's jump scares, yes, but the jump scares is really Nikki breaking consciousness.
The only time that I felt any sort of reprieve from that is whenever something scary would happen and it'd go quiet. Somebody in our theater would go, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah. Well, some guy literally went, "Bear, kill yourself." Like,
yeah, I heard, when he goes and swallows the pills, and then he sits there for a second, and everybody's like on the edge of their seat. Is he gonna do it? And then he goes, I heard somebody go, "This motherfucker."
Yeah. It was just so it was so infuriating.
Yeah, theater experience is a must need for this.
Definitely agreed.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say this movie is?
Would one be considered back? Sorry, I won't say what I want to say. I was gonna say backrooms.
Backrooms is Backrooms is bad. I'm
It's
not
a
even gonna do a
joke.
podcast episode on it. I did not like Backrooms. That terrible movie. I'm sorry.
I want to really say 10 out of 10. Horror wise, like it's just something like I'm always gonna have as a classic. I think
That's like I would say is probably one of my.
there's
favorite
not a lot of
movies.
things I would change about it. Something that I can see myself in 20 years having it on the DVD and at any moment be like, "Hey guys, have you seen this? Check this shit out."
And I will say, we are running a little bit long, but one of the last things I'll say is that it with how Curry and Cooper and what they did with this movie, especially with what I want to do and stuff like this, it really does inspire me because they started on YouTube. They did the TikTok thing, and now they're making one of the best horror movies that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Very inspiring.
Extremely.
Very impressive.
Extremely.
So go see this movie. If you guys like this podcast episode, make sure to like it and comment. If you've seen the movie, comment what your favorite part of the movie was, or if you got anything you want to debate us on, put it down in the comments. If Brandon would ever like to come back and do this again, I had a great time. This is probably one of my favorite podcast
Definitely
episodes.
enjoyed it.
This was so good to actually kind of sit down and really
Dig
dive
in
into this
fully
movie.
in depth with it.
And yeah, I'm sure you guys will be seeing him on the channel, especially with the gaming videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and maybe my annual Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah,
coming to that.
Definitely want to do that.
I do a video every
Yep.
single year.
Not one fun.
So there we go. Anything you want to say before we end it?
Nope. I'm just excited for the next one, honestly.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, like I said, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more stuff like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
Adios.